12 rounds back in February and lost a 12-round decision. He can be a very tough fighter, but maybe a bit awkward in his style. What do you think?
Well, Tom, I think that Mark Too Sharp Johnson will find he doesn't fight a lot like the Mexican fighters that Too Sharp has fought before. Against Arbachikov, he was very tentative and very cautious, stayed on the outside. He was fighting a long-range fight. So that would be different than what Too Sharp has faced before in the Mexican fighters.
And now our champion, the IBF flyweight champ, Mark Too Sharp Johnson. There he is. His dad, Ham, confidant, trainer, best friend, 11 straight knockouts. And somebody fired up the anthem for just a brief moment there as Too Sharp Johnson comes out of the dressing room. This is a fighter that, quite frankly, is as good pound for pound, Rich Murata, as anybody in any division.
Well, he has got a lot of tools, Tom. We saw earlier in his career when he relied mostly on his boxing tools. He's got tremendous speed. This is a kid who can box or punch. He hasn't lost many rounds. He hasn't been hurt much as a professional. He's dominated most of his fights, been in only a couple of tough fights. But we saw him in his very first important bout, his first main event, when he fought Alberto Raton Jimenez right here at the Forum.
What a war.
And a tremendous bout, which he won a close decision over Jimenez, who now is a world champion as well in this division in the WBO. And I think those two are on a collision course for someday to meet. I wouldn't mind seeing that one at all.
And his fight against Orozco up in Las Vegas was just a great fight. And he prevailed over Orozco. A magnificent performance by Mark Too Sharp Johnson. And he won the championship with a superb knockout, electrifying over Francisco Tejedor at the Pond in Anaheim. Jimmy Lennon Jr. is in the center of the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we present our main event of the evening, I'd like to ask you to rise for the singing of the national anthems. First, on behalf of the challenger, we present the national anthem of Mexico. To the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Forum Boxing Incorporated and Budweiser, the undisputed king of beers. This bout coming away is sanctioned by the International Boxing Federation, the president, Robert Lee Sr., supervisor at ringside, Robert Weitzel, along with the California State Athletic Commission, the chairman, William Eastman, vice chairman, Willie Buchanan, executive director at ringside, Richard DeCure. Introducing to you our judges, scoring this bout from ringside, Lou Moret, Rafael Lopez Santos, and Gerald Maltz. Introducing to you our referee in charge of this, our main event, Pat Russell. All right, fans, here we go with our main event of the evening. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, it's time for the IBF Flyweight Championship of the World, scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. Introducing first the challenger on my left, fighting out of the red corner. Wearing white trunks with red trim, joins us from Mexico City, Distrito Federal, Mexico. He weighed in at 111 3/4 pounds. His record includes 20 wins, 2 losses, with 12 wins coming by way of knockout. He is currently the Mexican national flyweight champion, tonight making his second attempt at a world title, introducing the challenger, Raul Baby Juarez. And his opponent across the ring on my right, the defending world champion, fighting out of the blue corner, entering the ring wearing red trunks with gold trim, fighting out of our nation's capital of Washington, D.C. He weighed in at a ready 111 pounds. With a fine record of 29 wins and 1 defeat, he has 22 big wins coming by way of knockout. He is the first African-American to hold the flyweight crown. Tonight he is making the first defense of his title, introducing the defending IBF flyweight champion of the world, Mark Too Sharp Johnson. Once again, our referee in charge, Pat Russell, now to give instructions.
championship of the world, campeón del mundo, 12 rounds. Buena suerte, good luck, touch your gloves, go back to your corners.
All right, for this IBF championship bout, Johnson's 5'3", so's Juarez. Juarez is 3/4 of a pound heavier. He is 2 years younger, and in the reach department, they're both dead even at 69. The IBF rules governing this bout tonight: winner of the round gets 10 points, loser a lesser number. 3 knockdown rule not in effect. No standing 8 count. Saved by the bell in the last round only. Referee or doctor can stop the fight if there's a headbutt. They'll go to the cards after the 6th round if indeed that is a reason for stopping the fight. Here they come. Johnson is the southpaw, and the cardinal in gold, in the white trimmed in red, baby Juarez, Raul Juarez, who is the Mexican flyweight champion.
Juarez, when he fought Yuri Arbachakov, exhibited almost a European style, Tom. Very different from most of the Mexican fighters that we have seen. A stand-up style, liking to fight at long range. He does not boast a great deal of power, although he has 12 KOs in his 20 victories. He certainly does not seem to be in the same punching category as Mark Too Sharp Johnson, who combines, I think, Tom, it adds so much to his punching power, the speed at which he hits you.
I couldn't help, as you were talking, notice that right hand, the jab thrown by Johnson. He's the southpaw. It just snakes out there like a snake, really, like you would expect somebody to attack if they were wearing, you know, carrying fangs with them and didn't have any shoulders. An amazingly quick-handed, quick-footed fighter who has got surprising power. Johnson, in 29 wins, has KO'd 22 men. He's knocked 11 in a row out. He's on a real streak, and of course the punch he devastated Tejedor with to win the vacant IBF title was one that people will talk about for some time. It literally paralyzed Tejedor as he was hit with a left hand, took one step back, and then just crumbled and was unable to even get his feet under him or his legs under him or anything else.
It was a very strange knockout, Tom, in that Tejedor knew what was going on. He was conscious. He knew what was going on. He wanted to get up.
Even to the point of crying. He was weeping trying to get up.
His legs just would not work.
No, total frustration and paralyzed by that blow thrown by Johnson. We have seen Johnson as a contender, as a man who toiled long, waiting for a championship fight, waiting for a chance. Forum Boxing gave him that opportunity. He was there to accept it and equal to the challenge. Tejedor, a magnificent fighter, and of course a former champion, and Mark Too Sharp took the title, wears it proudly, and is quick to point out that he is an underdog. He said every time as the champion he gets into the ring, he's got to be 100% ready because the other guy has got everything to win and nothing to lose.
Juarez in this fight, Tom, is coming out and showing some aggressiveness that he did not show in the fight with Arbachakov.
Indeed. He went 12 rounds with Arbachakov, was knocked down 3 times. He's in the white trimmed in red. Mark Too Sharp Johnson in the cardinal in gold. Arbachakov, excuse me, Juarez landing a couple of solid left jabs. A busy first round.
As you can see, he's got kind of a classic style as he stands there, though, left held high, trying to mix it up. He's had a very effective first round, Juarez has.
And he's taken some pretty good shots and has taken them in stride as Pat Russell separates them at the bell. Very interesting opening round here as we follow Mark Too Sharp Johnson back to his corner. Now, Juarez earlier tonight said, I know he's a great fighter, meaning Johnson, but he's not invincible. To which Johnson had this recorded comment in response.
Oh, well, I think it's going to be a great fight. He just went 12 with one of the best flyweights, Yuri Arbachakov. And going up with any opponent who went 12 with Arbachakov is going to be a tough fight. I know I'm not invincible. I can be hit like any opponent, but it was a hard road for me to win the world title. It was a hard road to even get there for fighting for a world title. And regardless of what it takes, 12 rounds, 10 rounds, I'm going to keep this belt.
So there you have the champion, Mark Too Sharp Johnson, fully aware that his opposite number, there's a baby Juarez, just came off 12 rounds with Arbachakov, as we've told you, and he reiterated Arbachakov, one of the best in the division in the world. And Mark, I think, expects a tough fight. He certainly had a tough round. Well, opening round was a tough one.
Yeah, and I think that's good if he does expect a tough fight, Tom. He remains a hungry fighter. I think Mark Too Sharp Johnson, and he remains very focused. You can tell by his conditioning that he's ready to go as he steps in there in the ring tonight. But Juarez fought a very effective first round, showing some different looks to Johnson and making it tough on the champion.
Indeed, and they're there toe-to-toe, forehead to forehead for the most part, willing to exchange the best they've got with each other. Johnson, of course, at 24, on the threshold of several big money fights in this division. An opportunity he doesn't want to let get away by not being ready to defend his title. In that regard, he appears to be fit and ready to go. His father, Ham, trainer, manager, confidant, came by before the card started tonight. Said, how is he? He said, we're ready to fight. It appears as though he's going to have to be, Rich Morata.
Yeah, very unusual situation, too, tonight, Tom, in that, as you mentioned, Ham is the father of Mark Too Sharp Johnson, and he's in his corner, manages and trains him. Same situation in the Juarez corner. Raul Juarez Sr. is in his corner tonight, so we've got father-son teams going at each other.
Yeah, it's a family affair, to be sure. Johnson is in the cardinal and gold trunks, and the white and red Juarez, and this has been a spirited opening 2 rounds, make no mistake about it. Each man has apparently fired as good as they've got, and each has taken the other's best in stride so far. Johnson, the southpaw. These are 111-pounders. Johnson is the IBF flyweight champion. Nice right hand by Johnson as Juarez tries to work to the body, and Johnson ties him up.
I think Johnson made a conscious decision a couple of years ago, Tom, to be more of an exciting fighter, more of a slugger than he was earlier. And he began knocking people over, and the crowd began loving it. And he began realizing he's got terrific power.
He does have, and I'll tell you, Juarez has got a great set of whiskers. He's taken some really big-time shots. Johnson teeing off on him, and Juarez taking him and moving right in for more. We in for another Roscoe Johnson fight, Rich Morata?
Well, we've seen Mark Johnson in some really terrific scraps. That one with Luis Salazar last year was a tremendous fight as long as it lasted 3 rounds, and this one's a great fight, too.
Round 2 coming to a close.
You will receive.
Terrific scrap in round number 2 as these two really mixed it up. Look at that right hand, though, by Mark Too Sharp Johnson. Thrown with that quickness, a short punch, and he followed it up with another right. That was a great 3 minutes of action.
We're in round number 3, and Johnson was just verbally abused by the people in his corner. They said, quit trying to knock this guy out. Go out there and fight him, box him, move him around, and do the things you know how to do. They were really chewing on the champion pretty good over there.
Yeah, and telling him, relax.
Yep. Now he steps in, lands a right and then a left. He's getting off quicker in this, the 3rd round. Now doing a little showboating and some boxing as Juarez in the white trunks. Been surprisingly tough here. Off that fight with Abachikov, we thought that Juarez would be in, the kind of a just hanging around for a decision-type fight, willing to go the distance to evade the champion, but he's been mixing it up toe-to-toe with him ever since the opening bell.
Funny thing about that fight that Juarez had with Abachikov, after he'd been down 3 times earlier, the last round was his best round of the fight. He fought really well in that 12th round, and he might have been regretting the fact that he didn't, push it a little sooner, Tom.
Well, he's come out full of vim and vigor, and certainly on a mission here in the first 2 rounds. Johnson is the southpaw, the champion, IBF flyweight. Raul Baby Juarez, only the 2nd time the young Mexican champion has been out of his native Mexico. The other was the fight with Arbachikov. That was in July back in February.
Juarez has a record of 20-2, fine record, remember, and his last bout April 13th, a 3rd round KO of Juan Santos in Mexico, in which he retained his Mexican championship. Won that about a year ago when he decisioned Oscar Arciniega in Mexico.
Johnson won the title. It was vacant. A 1st round knockout over Francisco Tejedor down at the pond in Anaheim. Oh, right hand by Johnson, and Juarez goes down. The count is at 4. He's sitting there in the back of his lap. This is round 3. Johnson trying to tee off.
And Mark Johnson has just turned into one of the hardest hitting flyweights that you'll ever see.
Nails Juarez with a left hand that stopped him in his tracks for a moment. Juarez is game now. Keeps pulling away, trying to throw punches.
And Mark's looking for the home run shot, and it's costing him a little, Tom. He's a little bit wild in there.
But it's what his father and advisor and trainer, Ham, was saying to him. No knockdown, says Russell, in this one, although there was a punch thrown. Johnson comes out throwing a bolo at the end of round number 3, and the crowd is on its feet roaring. Devastating right hand thrown by Johnson. Crowd loves it here at the Great Western Forum, and he's very calm, very stoic. Maybe we can listen in.
Come on, take a deep breath. Do you know? Now listen, Mark. The brick to the chest. Then the double hook. Say it on me. Oh, look, dog the man in the body slowing down. Stop worrying. What the hell you want to do? Close them up. Close them up and work them. It ain't nothing to you. Well, relax. Just relax. Relax. Straight and left, right.
Again in the corner, they're telling him relax. Well, he was relaxed enough to throw a terrific right hand that scored the knockdown, and there it is. Doubled up with the right hand in the second part. Look at that shot. Right hand to the body, another one to the head, a double right hook. Right hand to the body, then over the top, over in the corner. Look how excited he is.
Yes.
Though. He's Mark is a little hyper tonight.
He's fired up, no question about it. Round number 4. He's defending his IBF flyweight title, lands a right and a left. Solid shots on Juarez, who's got a better set of whiskers than we had anticipated. But the Mexican champion has only had 2 losses with 20 victories. Johnson now pressing whatever advantage he assumes he has after the knockdown, forcing Juarez backwards as Johnson moves in on him, throws the right, bangs the right to the body, misses it right to the jaw. He really got a tongue lashing from his father Ham and the rest of the guys in the corner after round 1. He came out round 2, kind of went his way, and round 3 he knocks Juarez down. Juarez trying to fend him off.
And now he's trying to utilize some movement, but boy, Johnson is just throwing a high volume of punches here and making a lot of them count.
Johnson pressing his advantage. That's his dad Ham in the corner there, shouting instructions. I don't know that Mark can hear him above the roar of the crowd. Bangs a right to the body. Left hand again scores for Johnson. Juarez comes back with a right of his own.
He's just having all kinds of trouble slowing Johnson down at all with that jab. See, the jab of Juarez is not a real stinging jab. It's more of a probing jab, and it's not the type of jab that will keep a relentless fighter off.
No.
He likes to stand back at long range, pick you a couple times with the jab, look at you, see what he can use off of it.
That is not a knockdown. He got his foot tangled up with Johnson's, even though Johnson hit him with a right hand, comes in and buries a solid right to the body. And another one. And I tell you, the knowledgeable fight fans here, you can hear them behind us. When those body shots land, they all in unison go, ooh, like that, because they are telling blows, no question about it. Johnson pursuing Juarez, who is doing his level best to stay away, keep Johnson off him. We're in round 4 of a scheduled 12-rounder, title defense for Johnson, who now has switched to the orthodox style. Looking to load up or lure Juarez into some kind of a mistake. Round 4 coming to a close. We'll be back.
You, and you.
Out they come for round number 5. Again, the people in Mark Too Sharp Johnson's corner, telling him you're trying too hard. Work the left hand, work to the body. In the meantime, Pat Russell, the referee, was over very intently looking at Raul Juarez over in his corner. There's a lot of blood on the trunks of Juarez, but I don't see facially that he's cut or anything. Rich, have I missed that?
Yeah, he's just been bleeding from the nose.
Yeah.
Tom, I think they're right in Johnson's corner. I believe that at times he's been sloppy. In that last round especially, he wound up and missed 3 straight right hands, you know, and he's a little bit wild there at times. And I think he needs to, you know, just tactically get himself together again here and go to the body and then try to break his man down. Johnson, I think, was excited about scoring that knockdown in the previous round, and he wants to get this guy out of there if he can. You know, not too many people do the basics better than Mark Two-Shot Johnson, so, you know, it's what he needs to go back to here, start of this round. I think that's what he's doing. He looks a little more relaxed in this round and a little bit sharper and not so wild.
Johnson is a man of considerable skills, obviously, and he is truly a champion in the ring. There's got to be a little added pressure on him tonight, though. He is, after all, after a long time, finally the IBF flyweight champion, and this is his first title defense. So he's got to feel as though, perhaps, Rich, I've got to go out and do something just better than anybody has ever done in this division, or I've got to be better than I've ever been. And maybe that is why he's trying too hard. This is a very special night for him to defend his title for the first time. He's in against a guy who's a surprisingly tough customer. Nose bleeding, Juarez trying to fend off Johnson, who is obviously quicker. Knocked him down. And is stalking him now, so to speak, here in round number 5 at the scheduled 12-rounder. Juarez ran into a pretty good left and then ran into another one, and there's another lead left thrown by Johnson and another.
And I thought Juarez was doing a good job in the first round of landing some punches with which he could get the respect of Johnson, but he needs to land a little bit more significant punches than he has been in the last couple of rounds to keep Johnson, who's just off of him because he's walking right through him.
Good comment by yours a moment ago about how Johnson obviously trying too hard and is missing shots that he ordinarily would connect with. And in rapid-fire order, he has missed 2 or 3 very, very hittable moves by Johnson that really he would not have missed before, or has not missed in the recent past. Round coming to a close. Round number 5. We'll be back with more.
So you're building.
Well, as we go to the 6th round, Rich Morata's scorecard has Johnson up 49-45. And Russell over in the corner with Juarez's people doing a little house cleaning, I think. He's got scissors there and some other stuff that they've left behind. They didn't put the mouthpiece in. Kind of sloppy housework over there, Rich.
Just about everything.
Johnson comes out with a flurry to open round number 6. He's the southpaw. He's the champion, IBF flyweight, defending his title for the first time here. A fighter that we, along with you, have watched grow up, mature, and become a champion. Fighting here at the Great Western Forum. Persevered a long time to get a shot at the title, and then was more than equal to the task when he knocked out Francisco Tejedor in the first round.
Yeah, it actually sounded strange to hear Jimmy Lennon introduce him tonight as the flyweight champion of the world. You know, we've called him the uncrowned champion for so long. But he owns that title. I thought the last round he fought better, Tom, fought more relaxed, and now it looks as though he's doing it this round. Look at him pick him apart with his jab. See, this is the boxing skills we've told you that Johnson really has, that he showed early in his career. He doesn't have to go out and knock the guy out. He can, because he's got such great speed and maneuverability if he chooses to use it, that he can just outbox a guy. He's done a really nice job. This is a textbook round so far by Mark Johnson.
Several straight rights, right to the body, followed by a left hand a moment ago, all of them scoring. Because the people in this corner were telling him this guy maybe want to be around for the whole fight, so go out and box him.
Right.
And he seems to be doing just that. Here in round number 6 of the scheduled 12-round title defense. Johnson. Quick hands, 2 rights and a left, all unanswered by Juarez.
That was 3 punches, Tom, just in the blink of an eye.
He is rapier-like quick, no question about it. And just for a change of pace, he throws a lead left. Right jab working for Johnson. Pat Russell, the third man in the ring here, IBF title on the line. Johnson has it, wants to keep it for a long time, like to unify it, really, he told Fernando earlier tonight.
Well, he talks a lot about that. That's why he says he still considers himself an uncrowned champion, because he wants all the crowns in the flyweight division.
When they say the flyweight division of the world is, only one name will pop up in the computer, in the ring, and everywhere. And that would be his. That's what he wants.
Well, I would love to see him in there with Tom Jimenez, and I would love to see him in there with Yuri Arbachakov. I think it'd be fantastic if they could somehow figure out a way, you know, to make those fights.
First, he's got to get by tough Raul Baby Juarez, who has been very stubborn, was knocked down, and still is a very viable item out here as we watch these two men go to each other in round number 6. Johnson elusive, tough to hit, quick-footed, quick-handed. There's the bell, and that's the end of round number 6. We'll follow Juarez back to his corner. Blood on his crotch, but it's coming basically from his mouth and or nose. Has no visible cuts or anything as we look at him. That's his dad in there with him.
Round 7.
They were telling him it's the 7th round.
Dale golpes abajo, está cansándose bastante, ¿eh? Está cansándose. No te pesques.
Too sharp, Johnson.
7 round, okay. We in the fight, okay? No question. Now, the boy's getting tired because he's been running after. Now the boy's beginning to come, right? You throwing 1, 2, 3. All right, well, okay. He's throwing 1, 2, 3, and he sit down. You take it. Now you begin to reach. Your jab ain't there. No, remember, until you step off with the jab. 2 or 3 jabs. Boxer's got it. Set him up. Set him up. Get a top. Try to, I guess, relax a little bit more. Don't worry about the crowd. You're looking beautiful. Come on, let's go. Let's go, baby.
The bell brings him out for round number 7, or siete, if you will. Juarez asked what it was. They told him siete, number 7.
I
really thought Mark Johnson fought an excellent round in round number 6. Really boxed well, used his speed, used his jab, used his skills. But the fact that he was not punching big in that round gave Juarez, I think, a little bit of boldness there in the last 20 or 30 seconds.
Yes, he did seem to act like a man who thought, hey, I'm going to throw some punches and hurt this guy, meaning hurt Johnson. Yeah.
Change of tactics, though, by Johnson, and you've seen it. It's been very dramatic. He was loading up, looking for one shot, looking for knockout punches. Now he's in there trying to outbox his man, and as they told him in the corner, go out there and just win the fight.
Yep.
This was a total slugfest in rounds 2 and 3.
It was indeed, and now it has settled down into a more quiet affair, and the crowd buzzing a little bit behind us. They perhaps expected it to be 12 rounds like rounds 1 and 2, where good solid left hand scores for Johnson. Juarez trying to pick up the tempo here a little bit as he drives Johnson into the ropes above us, and then they spin out to the center of the ring.
Johnson, I think, over the past 2 years, because he's been up against so many Mexican fighters, has really won the respect of Mexican fans in this area. He's become quite a popular fighter. And he, conversely, really respects Mexican fighters for what they bring into the ring, their courage and determination and skill.
Yes, for a long time early on in his career, every time he fought a Mexican fighter, he was the object of scorn and derision by Mexican fans who thought that he was demeaning the Mexican fighter. But in reality, he wasn't. He has great regard for him, always has had, and will tell you that.
Juarez getting bold again, Tom. Picking up a little confidence here.
This is round number 7.
Johnson has stopped punching.
For some strange reason, I don't know why.
He's just closing a lot in this round. I'm really surprised.
Well, at least the last 45 seconds of it. Uppercut misses by Johnson. Closing moments of round 7. And We'll be back to the forum right after this.
We have a wonderful...
Juarez was having a fine round 7 until the very final seconds when that right hand clobbered him from Mark Too Sharp Johnson, one of the hardest punches of the fight.
Here we are in round number 8 of this title bout, scheduled for 12, the IBF flyweight title. Johnson has the title, making his first defense of the crown that he took from Uzbekistan. He knocked out Francisco Tejedor, the Pond, back in June to win the title. Banging right hand to the body, that had to hurt, and the left right in the middle of the face of Juarez. And the blood coming from the nose of Raul Baby Juarez, the Mexican champion, as Johnson has picked up the tempo here. He did coast a bit in round 7, Rich. And that big punch toward the end of it.
Maybe that saved the round for him, Tom. I thought Juarez was clearly winning that round, but now, of course, it's up to the judges. That was quite a punch at the end by Johnson.
Had to be the best punch of the round, no question about that. Juarez,
he's clearly the harder puncher of the two, though. Anytime when these guys trade punches, if they're going to land around the same time and around the same area, it's going to be to Johnson's advantage.
Juarez is hurt. He just got nailed, grabbed to hold on. Juarez got hit and was hurt and reached over and grabbed Johnson. Juarez now trying to regain his senses. Johnson hits him with a left. Blood coming from the nose of Juarez. Right hand grazes the jaw. Johnson pressing his advantage, lands a solid left, comes after his man with a right, misses with a wild right.
But much more in control now, Tom. This is good stuff from the champion. This is the way a champion can finish, you see. Not wild, not wildly swinging, missing punches.
Big right hand. He's got Juarez all but out, Rich. He nailed him, and down he goes right in front of us. Juarez on his back, and I think they're going to call him out. Johnson hit him with some solid shots, buckled his knees a couple of times, and now the young Mexican champion is down on the canvas right in front of us now. Pat Russell, attending doctor, and the people out of Juarez's corner are over.
Yeah, he's all right. He's looking up and nodding. Yeah. As soon as Pat Russell stopped the fight, he just nodded in agreement with it. Tom, that was just a brilliant piece of work by Mark Johnson in that last round. You could see him setting it up. As soon as he hit the man and hurt the man, what was great there was he did not do what he did earlier in the fight and just go crazy wild and try to swing Sunday shots to get his man out of there. He stayed in control completely and went out there, broke his man down, and finished him off. That was a great job of finishing an opponent.
Well, the young Mexican champion now, Johnson, comes over to pay his respects. Juarez seems to be all right. He's talking to the doctors. Here's another look at how it happened and how it ended with Juarez going down. Big right hand first.
Yeah, Johnson was much more accurate in that round. Now there's a wild one that he did miss, but he was coming after his man here. Clearly it was about to be finished. Look at that right uppercut, a beautiful shot, and that was the end of it. And Pat Russell was already waving it off as he went down.
Yes, yeah. Dr. Robert Carnes come over to take a look at the young fighter, and I think Juarez is all right. He was looking over at us even as we were speaking. He's right just 3 feet away from us now. They're going to help him to his feet, put a stool under him there, let him sit there and rest for a moment as Mark Too Sharp Johnson makes his first title defense, a very successful one, a knockout of Juarez in round number 8. We'll be back right after this.
Because you asked for it, they're psychics, really are.
She hit the nail right on the head. She got...
Johnson, the IBF flyweight champion, is a tough fight, but one that when he controlled himself as much as the opponent, he quickly ended with an 8th round knockout. The official time we'll get from Jimmy Lennon in just a moment. But he now runs his record to 30-1, 23 knockouts, and that's 12 in a row, and this truly is at 24 years of age as good a fighter as this division has seen. And who knows, Rich Murata, someday he might be the flyweight champion of the world, bar none.
Undisputed. But as for now, I think you'd have to rate him as #1 in that division, ahead of all of the other world champions. I've seen those champions in action, Tom, and this to me looks to be the man right here, Mark Too Sharp.
For what it's worth, remember, Avarchikov, who gets great recognition went 12 rounds with Juarez, knocked him down 3 times, could not put him away. Now, of course, that was back in February. What that fight might have taken out of Juarez, we can only guess. But tonight, clearly, Mark Johnson was just superior. Jimmy Lennon Jr. has the official time in the knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 1 minute, 57 seconds of round number 8. Our referee in charge, Pat Russell, stops the contest. He's the winner by way of knockout and still IBF flyweight champion of the world, Mark Too Sharp Johnson.
There he is, and what an impressive record. 30 wins, 1 loss. 23 knockouts, 12 knockouts in a row, and his first title defense is a crowd pleaser to be sure here at the Great Western Forum. And a big payday for Mark Johnson as well, and even more to come in his future.
Yep, there's going to be big fights coming up in his future, Tom. He's going to be the darling of the TV crowd, I think.
All right, Fernando Paramo is in the ring with the champion. Let's go up to the ring.
Thank you, Tom. Well, what was this what you expected in this fight?
Oh, well, I knew he was a very tough fighter, but first of all, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, my wife, my mother, all the guys in Two Shops Barbershop who've been keeping me focused. I knew he was a tough opponent. I watched him against Juarez. He took some great shots against Juarez. Once I tried too hard in the early going to knock him out. I wanted to prove that I was a better and a stronger fighter than Juarez, which I had no business trying to do. But after I got the going on, I started outboxing him, just weighing him down. But he's very strong. He was a great opponent.
You're not going to let me ask anything, huh? You're going to tell me all on your own.
I got to.
Well, okay, tell us about and the later part of the fight. Like you said, you were pretty much fighting on your own. Take a look at what's happening and tell us what's going on.
Well, that's when I try to outbox him now, which I'm faster than him. I'm just using my jab to try to keep him off, give him a lot of angles and a lot of feints, which I was doing. I mean, he was very strong. I was using my jab, keeping my jab in his face. Once I knew I had him backing up, I knew I can outbox him, and I can almost hit him with anything I wanted to do.
Were you surprised of the way he kept on coming back sometimes when he looked like he was just looking for a way out?
Oh, no, because I watched him against Juarez, and he did the same thing against Juarez. He was down 3 times against Juarez. And I think I proved that I'm a stronger fighter, but I tried too hard early, looking for the knockout, which I knew I shouldn't have no business in.
You hit him several very hard blows, and in fact, some of them were harder than you hit at Tejedor, and yet he didn't seem to go down as fast.
Oh, well, I think he had a better chin than Tejedor. A guy that went 12 with one of the biggest punches in the flyweight, Yuri, I knew we was going to be in a big fight, but I tried too early in the first couple of rounds to knock him out. But he was very strong. I was throwing a lot of wild punches, and I was a little standing straight up. But we go back to the drawing board.
Were you trying to set him up? Because before this particular round, it looked like you went back, you pulled back your punches, and you even let him take the initiative.
Oh, well, I knew he was going to get stronger and stronger as each round progresses. But a couple of rounds, I took a couple of rounds off to get my jab going, just to try to reestablish. But I stood too straight up in the fight, and I was looking for the knockout. That's the only problem.
We also have Ham, your dad, and it seemed like you had a hard day tonight. Tell us about the knockout, first of all.
Oh, well, I hit him with 2 or 3 good shots. He tried to quit once or twice in the fight. And he backed across the ring. He tried to quit once or twice in the fight. But the ref didn't acknowledge it. There's one time right there where he wanted to quit. But he wanted to quit 2 or 3 times when the fight was going on. But,
there was a combination of exhaustion, tiredness, and just the beating you were given. He just wanted to quit. I don't think he was as hurt.
Oh, well, I don't think he was hurt. I think I put a lot of punishment on. But I'm getting focused. I'm going back home and rest and do what I have to do. I'll be coming up within 30 more days on September the 14th on HBO After Dark.
Are you going to be here? Is that a fact, a fight here now?
That's a fact. I'll be on the card with Marco Antonio Barrera, and I'll be here right back with you.
Okay. What about your dad? What do you think?
One fight leads into the next.
What about this particular fight? What did he do? What you expected him to do?
Well, number one thing, I know the guy was real tough with Yuri, and we watched the tape, and I know we had to go to the body to slow him down. But the guy was what Mark was trying to do, and like I told him the first 2 rounds, I said, you tried too hard. I said, settle down. This guy ain't going nowhere. We in for a house party tonight. I said, late on rounds, we'll catch him with speed. I said, the guys know you got speed, and they know you're going to attack the body. But he took camouflage out predicament because he's supposed to work the body, but we tried to make him move back. When he didn't bite, we had to go get him.
Okay, do you have an opponent for the 14th of September? Is that already have that, or have you gotten that far yet?
Yeah, we have 1 or 2 or 3 opponents that we have in line. I let the Form and Ham get that together. But it's a definitely fight, September the 14th. And everybody back at Two Shops Barbershop and everybody who supported my barbershop, I want to thank you, and we bring it home.
Okay, well, again, congratulations on your first defense.
Thank you very much, man. We still pushing.
All right, you still owe me a hat.
Thank you.
We can tell you who he's going to fight. It'll be Alejandro Alex Montiel. On the 14th, Marco Antonio Barrera against Jesse Magana. What a Saturday night that'll be at the Great Western Forum. We'll be back. There's the champ.